Good morning from day 5 of my Appalachian Trail through hike. It is February 17th, 2026, and I'm making my way down from the Powell mountain vista, and my goal is to reach the Muskrat Creek shelter tonight. That's about 14 miles away. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be a beefy day. I know that the climbs are going to start getting harder as I make my way into North Carolina, or longer anyway, and probably steeper in places. It's just the way it goes. And Georgia's been hard, don't get me wrong, but North Carolina beats it for just the stoutness, I'd say, of the mountains. But I'm looking forward to being back in my home turf for a bit. And I had a great night in camp with a woman named Schiller, and she is just a lovely human. We met when we were both filtering water at the Deep Gap shelter. I had to think of the name. And we camped together, and I got to know her a little bit. She hiked the entire AT in 2024 up to the base of Mount Katahdin, and at that point, they closed the mountain. It was too late in the season for her to summit the day that she got there. Talk about devastating. I can't imagine. So she's out here again, hiking the whole thing. And I just love her heart of grit. I mean, that's truly just very inspiring. And I hope our paths cross again before it's all over. She was great. But I'm solo, obviously, right now. And sure, I'll probably run into somebody along the way today. It's always fun to meet new people like that. Didn't sleep great last night, though, because my sleeping pad has a leak in it, I believe. I've had this Thermarest X-Therm for, I don't know, 8 years or so. Yeah, so I guess it was time to start having some problems, but I kept waking up with my hip on the hard, cold ground, which was miserable. So about 3 o'clock, I just gave up and started looking at all these lovely comments people are leaving on my social media and YouTube and blog. Oh, I don't know how I'm going to keep up. I don't know if I can with responding to all of them as I hike, but just know I'm reading them all, and I'm just so touched that people want to follow along. I had no intention of making a YouTube channel while I did this at all. I thought I would blog about it, and that's really my comfort zone, is writing, but I enjoy this too, oddly. So thank you for following along, and thank you for all the support and love. People are just so kind. I say it all the time that if you want to believe in the good of humanity again, just get to know somebody from the hiking community, because it works every time. So I'll check in later, and I'm going to enjoy this descent before I got to go back up a mountain. So I just stopped in a campsite to take off my pants. I don't know if you could see these. There we go. These are not rain pants. They're just wind pants, and they're pants that ballerinas apparently use to train, to warm up their legs. And you can get them on Amazon. I think they're like $30 now. They used to be a little less, but they're great. They're just great for chilly mornings. I usually will wear tights when it's super cold, and I also bring these as an extra layer. But for mornings like this, where it's, I'd bet, in the mid 40s, they're great. But now I'm getting hot, so I'm taking all this garb off. But people have asked me to share my gear loadout. I didn't do any kind of gear video or anything, because like I said, didn't know I was going to be doing YouTube stuff. But these are wonderful. I'll put the link, I guess, probably to my whole gear list in the description below if you want to see what I carry just as a whole. It's probably not super up to date, but maybe as I hike north, I'll share different elements of my loadout for people who care about that. So lunch today is going to be a hummus and veggie wrap, and this is from Food for the Soul. This recipe used to be a backpacking meal company, and they went out of business, I don't know, several years ago, but they had great stuff, all vegetarian mostly. I think it was all vegetarian, but they have a cookbook too that does have some meat recipes in it, but I like their veggie stuff best. But this came from that cookbook, and the hummus, I just dehydrated hummus. I bought it at the grocery store, but both of these dehydrate great. The hummus, because it has so much oil and fat in it, it goes rancid after a while, so you want to use it up pretty quickly. But I'm going to add some water to this and let it cold soak until I get to the Plum Orchard shelter, where hopefully it will be ready to eat with a wrap and some chips. So my veggies are all rehydrated now. They look really good. And I meant to put my hummus on first, but I forgot. So I'm just going to squeeze it on here. Uh-oh, it's coming out the top too. I'm going to have to turn this camera off probably. But you get the point. It's hard to get the water consistency right with the hummus because it always looks like it's going to be too runny, and then it solidifies, you know, as it rehydrates. But it's a really good lunch on a tortilla. So it's close to 1 o'clock and I'm at the Plum Orchard Shelter, which is really a nice little shelter. It's got some fun architectural interests that a lot of them don't have. And I have about, I think, 7-ish, maybe 8 miles left to get to Muskrat Creek Shelter. So it's gonna be a lot of climbing from here on out. And I just had that big lunch, so I'm gonna hurt. I'm gonna put some electrolytes in my water, and hopefully that can power me through some of the harder parts of this climb. But I heard that Chef is gonna be at that shelter tonight. Chef's my friend that I told you about a couple days ago who was limping, and I walked to the shelter with him and offered to carry his gear, all that. He's back on trail, so I'm so happy for him. Hopefully I'll see him tonight and get to camp with him and catch up. Eric and Amanda, his friends, are camped just above the shelter, closer to the trail. They stayed here last night, and Eric, well, now they have trail names, Scooby Snack and Fruit Loop. But Scooby Snack is Eric, and he has a bum hip right now, so they're taking a zero here and just camping. They've got a nice fire going. It smells really good. But I got miles to go, so I can't visit too long. Got to keep moving and get to camp a long way from here. Well, Georgia is now in my rear view mirror. It was a little bittersweet going across that line. Georgia's been good to me, and I've already made so many memories. I can't believe I'm right here. I mean, it's, you know, this much of, like, as tall as I am worth of trail when you look at it to scale. But it's one state down, 13 to go. So good evening from my tent. It's about 7:30, and I think it feels a lot later, but it's probably not. And I just finished up dinner. I had a red curry that I dehydrated from the Food for the Soul cookbook I mentioned at lunch with the roasted vegetables, and it was really yummy, and some Doritos and a Nutty Buddy, and I still think I'm kind of hungry. Here's a big day. I wound up doing about 17 miles, and I am camped about 2 miles north of the Muskrat Creek Shelter. I stopped there to filter water, and Chef was there. I was so happy to see Chef. He's still at it. He's got knee braces now, so that's helping, he said, but he's got 8 days of food, and he's trying to get all the way through to Fontana, so oh, better him than me. That just sounds so heavy. But he's doing okay and had a great attitude. It was good to give him a big old hug and catch up for a few minutes. But I wanted to get a little bit more ahead for my miles tomorrow to knock back what could be 20 miles, but now I think it'll be 18. Because there's this very special campsite I want to get to, so I'll share stuff about that tomorrow. But the rest of the day went fine. After I hit the North Carolina line, it got really steep. I knew it would. I could tell it was going to, and it was tough. But once I got up on the ridge, it loosened up, and that's how I was able to just kind of walk out the last 2 miles to get here. I did meet a trail ambassador today. That was something I don't think I mentioned earlier. His name was Fred, and he had his dog Grady with him. And I got a hang tag, an AT hang tag, which people get from Amicalola State Park usually when they start the trail. But because I was a little bit early, they weren't there yet. And so I was kind of bummed that I didn't have one, but now I do. And I get to write my number on it, which is number 74. That's the number of the people who, you know, left to start a Nobo through hike in 2026. I'm number 74. And Fred told me if I'll hang my tag on my pack, which I intended to, that when I'm trying to get a ride into town, just hitch a ride into a certain town or something, that people will see that tag and know that I'm okay. So, and know that I'm a through hiker. They'll probably smell me and know that automatically, but now the hang tag makes it legit. And that's about all that happened. I got to go hang this food up and brush my teeth, and my sleeping pad, I can tell, is losing air ever since I've inflated it, so might be another long night. Maybe I'll be so tired I won't even realize it. That's wishful thinking, but you know, part of the adventure makes for a good story. I'm going to check out, and I will see you guys in the morning. Good night.